Hey, everybody, welcome to Gardens, the Untold Story. We're talking about safe gopher control. I know I'm a prairie boy from Canada, and gophers are a big deal up here, for the farmers, especially the cattle farmers, and having them in their fields and stuff. So, you're talking, Andy, about safe gopher control, so organic, pesticide free, etc. Or what do you mean by safe gopher control?
Well, I would rather not kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather not use any. Of course, I don't use any poisons. I don't use any chemicals. So that's what I mean by safe. I would rather it be safe for the gophers as well.
Right. I
You know, I
think you're
mean,
ringing.
huh?
You're
What?
ringing.
I was, yeah. I get calls all the time. Oh, there it goes. Um, So, uh, it so I so the method that I've done over the years, it gets to be very simple because here in Malibu, most of the people have, well, everybody has a gopher problem. Michelle has a
Okay.
gopher problem. So again, it goes back down to there is always a long term and a short term solution.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just. So guess what the long term solution is?
Move.
What? What?
Move.
Guess what?
Move.
Move? Oh, no, that's not even. That's not even a solution. You know what? What's the name of the show?
Gardens, the Untold Story.
Well, the name is right above your head there. What does it say?
Oh, it's all about the biology. Yes.
Now, so what is the answer to the long term solution to gopher control?
Fix your biology in your soil, and your plants are so healthy, the gophers don't want to be there. I don't know.
No, not entirely, because what I think what happens is that first of all, gophers are pretty much like insects and other creatures in the sense that their environment has to be right for them to be in, right?
Right.
So gophers dig tunnels and they go through to the soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they prefer soil that's pretty much not active with microbial life or any other type of bacteria. Very sterile soil. So that's why they like it in the desert environment. Other places they don't like digging through. They do not like digging through my garden.
Okay. So they
So
don't eat they're not eating the plants or the roots or anything like that. They're just breaking up the soil.
no, the gophers will go after. What they're doing is they're, especially over here, for example, because the gophers will invade a person's property because there's a lot of water. They need water for starters, and then
Mm-hmm.
if you're an environment over here outside of a desert environment, um, they normally would eat the roots of plants and stuff like that to get at the water as well as for food.
Right.
But see, gophers is a entirely different type of. There are many different types of pests and stuff like that. So gophers is one type of pest that you have to understand why there's a problem in the first place. It's like with the ants.
Right.
But if you understand why the problem in the first is there in the first place, then you're better capable of saying, okay, well, so let me just put it to you another way. So here in Malibu or almost any place, the wildlife, nature has a way of controlling everything, including gophers,
Yeah.
right? So you
Yeah.
have all kinds of animals that eat gophers, all kinds of birds that eat gophers, right? Right? They
Yeah.
normally
Yeah.
control them. Snakes eat gophers. And guess what we do to all these things? What do we do to them?
We killed them. Of
Yeah,
course.
right. Right. So lately, I was talking to a lady in Malibu who was saying, "I don't know how to get rid of the gophers because I keep shooting at them with a BB gun, and I keep doing this, I keep doing that, and it's so wrong. They're bad things." And so, and this same lady here has no idea that she also doesn't want. We gotta get rid of the coyotes. They come around and eat my cats. And then we gotta get rid of the hawks because they're always going after my cats or something else. And so so what happens is if you destroy Mother Nature's normal system of functioning, which
Yep.
basically means the coyote, the owl, all these creatures. That's what they keep. That's what they eat. And they'll control. Every time you stick your head out of your tunnel, wham, you get eaten. So if they're
Hmm.
not there, yes, you're going to have an overpopulation of gophers,
Yeah.
right? And on top of that, the local civilized cats are like, oh look, it's a gopher. Hi, gopher. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't eat them.
Sometimes you're lucky you have a female cat. They'll go after them, especially if she has kittens they want to feed, or they're very good hunters. But male cats are like, oh, dude, it's just hi, gopher. And the same thing with dogs. Dogs have no famous idea how to catch them, what to deal with them. How's everybody doing? We're all doing very good, Victor. How are you doing? Let me click on the comments. I can. Oh, there you go. I have the comments. Hi, Silly Lily. So the long-term solution, and when I talk about the biology, I really mean the ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's the long term. And that's the biology in a grander sense, right? Rather than just in the soil, but the biology of the ecosystem. Animals are a part of the biology of the bigger system, right?
Yeah.
And so whenever so the long term is to start the process of trying to have more of a relationship with nature, especially if you live in a city environment that's surrounded by nature. Like here in Malibu, I don't know about you in Canada, but in Malibu, there's like there's a LA is a city. Forget about that. There's nothing there other than blocks. But here, there's probably more trees and people. I think
Yeah.
something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? More animals than people, and more
Hmm.
wide open spaces. You run into snakes, you run into coyote, you run into mountain lions, all kinds of stuff. And so those things we have to learn. We're not doing a very good job at existing with them. I read in the paper the other day this mountain lion P222 something like that got killed because remember this all used to be their territory, so now they have to cross highways. They have to cross all these different things, and on top of that there are fences, and we have fences between Mexico and the United States. They have to somehow get on gliders to go over, and so and then we also have they're in the old days, what killed the animals was the natural predators that we eat, and everything would be okay. But nowadays, we're the predators. As we're driving our car, we have more roadkills than ever before. There's billions, if not trillions, of animals dying every day on the road in the world because we kill them. I read somewhere where they're letting people actually take the stuff off the road to eat, to cook and eat. So that in other countries, why not? I mean, they were talking about deer they found on the road and so on. So we are not very good cohabitators with nature. So
No, we want to take control instead of maintaining the balance.
So one of the things, like for example, I don't know, every place is different. I know over here, one of the things I advocate is people having an owl, a couple of owl boxes, and having a couple of owls that live there. I also advocate having, like we live next to wildlife, so we shouldn't be using any poison that will kill the wildlife. A lot of people use rat poison, all kinds of poisons for gophers. That bird will come and take it back to their nest, give it to everybody, and they all die.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? So those things have to be stopped, but it's real because it's real simple to stop what you're doing that's wrong and try to reestablish some type of balance in the environment. Mm-hmm. Oh, pretty good. Just got my 10 packs of heirloom seeds, volcanic silica, and 5 pounds potassium humates. I'm in the mail. Hey, Victor, cool. What are you gonna do with all that stuff, man? Are you gonna eat it? Because that's not good. It doesn't make good eating 5 pounds of potassium humates. But the heirloom seeds, I really dig the heirloom seeds. I have a whole seed bank myself. I'm often thinking that one of the things we could do on this show, we could show off some of my heirloom seeds from my seed bank, and maybe we can start some kind of seed trade thing going on. But anyway, but most owners don't have the luxury of having an ecosystem that they have animals. So so that's why you have a infestation here in Malibu of the gophers, and in LA, if the gophers make it into the city, they'll have a patch of land somewhere that they're, in Topanga, lots of places where they're. exactly right. Your dog knows, right? Your dog knows exactly what I'm talking about. And so, but so they have to develop different techniques that work that will not without using poison. Because when I first started doing gopher treatments when I was a kid, I remember I would do things like put cayenne pepper down their tunnel. I don't know
Hmm.
if I ever told you that, but one day a gopher stuck his head out all covered with cayenne pepper and I said, "No, I'm not going to go into the torture business." And so, so what I did was I said, okay, so that what the gophers have in common, all gophers and lots of other creatures, is sense of smell, sense of sight, sense of smell. So I think sense of smell is probably more stronger to them than the sense of sight. They can probably smell you before they see you.
Oh, probably,
You
yeah.
know? So I figured, okay, it's smell. So what I started doing was repelling them through their sense of smell. That's when I started doing stuff. So I went to I decided, okay, what do gophers do not like to have in their tunnel? They only want to have gophers in their tunnel. They don't want to have humans in their tunnel. They don't want to have cats in it, right? So I figured they definitely don't want humans and cats and dogs in the tunnel. So I would go to a pet. I would see a pet announcement that we're giving haircuts, right? Bring your cats and your dogs to give them a haircut. And a lot of times in the veterinary place when they operate on a cat or something, they give them a real close big haircut, so you have a
Yeah.
lot of hair. And a lot of these pet stores, not only just the dog company, they bring cats to get groomed and cleaned up. A lot of the cat hair,
Hmm.
and so I've learned. Okay, so I would take cat hair and put it and shove it down into gopher tunnels.
Okay.
Now, I learned that cat hair works really, really well only during the summertime when the days and nights are hot, so the soil is hot. Because what it does, it decomposes the hair and it stinks
Hmm.
up the tunnel with the hair, and they run away. But it's only a temporary solution because you have to do something to keep them at bay on a more long-term, permanent basis.
Yeah.
So what I think I have a book on how to control gophers naturally. It's up in the Amazon. I think that's the title of it. So there's a series of things you can do. Of course, you want to do the long-term things. If you're lucky, like you have property, so you want to have a nice little ecosystem going on there. You want to have a couple of birds that live there. You want to have. Do you have any? You don't have any cats that go outside because you have other creatures, right? Your other animals that will eat the cats.
No, we have two cats and they go out hunting every day. We actually
Right.
had a mole problem that they took care of for us. Took them 2.5 years, but yeah, I don't have any moles anymore.
Exactly right. And so I find that it's very helpful to have animals that will go out there. Cats, female cats, I deliberately don't feed them a lot so they're not full. They then get a little hungry. Then they go out and they do hunting. And the only problem is they bring to me the body. You want a piece of this? I don't know. You want a liver? I
I
don't
want to
know.
share.
How about a
Hey, I
leg?
love
Oh,
you.
come on. And yeah, the cat would come and dump it right in front of me. I go, oh, nice rabbit. And and the cat would get upset if I threw it. He looks at me like, what the hell? I just gave you this. So you want to establish your own ecosystem out there. And in the homeowner, their ecosystem is what's within their fence. Right, in their
Mhm.
fenced area. That's their ecosystem. So yeah, you let your cats out, you let your dog out, but your kitty cats will, female cats, male cats don't do anything. They will hunt down whatever's on that property. That and I've seen a cat sit there and wait for the gopher to stick its head on, grabs him. You
Mhm.
know, and so that's one of the long-term solutions because you do that often enough. The gophers go, there's something wrong over there. Billy, Johnny, and Frankie went there and they did not come.
Yeah.
They'll spend the entire day outside, right?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
our
talking
cats
about
just
your
love
cats.
love it. Love to
That's your
be
cat.
outside.
Exactly right. And so
Yeah.
but there are other things that you could do that are really, really cool that you can learn to use. Well, if you the scent thing works really well in the sense that you can actually start incorporating plants that have a certain scent. So you learn how to plant as barriers around your property different kinds of herbs that they don't like. There's a wide variety of herbs that they don't like that you can grow, and they'll grow there. It depends on where you live at. We just got a couple of pack rats that was trying to set up shop in the garage. Your cats are old and lazy now. That happened. Oh yeah, go you guys go ahead, have a good time. I'm not gonna bother with them. And then the cat hangs out, and the mouse walks over them and everything, and the gopher goes hi. And yeah, I know that's all part of life, man. That's all part of life. You just can't get away from that. So you have to replace them with some new blood. But so and there are lots of people who don't have cats and don't have ability to do that. So you want to key into the sense of smell. Now, what's really interesting about this whole sense of smell thing is that you can literally, what I do is I will spray the whole property, right? So there are lots of different ways you can spray the property: a little backpack, a little power sprayer. Since I can't post yet, I need to. I have the same problem. I still can't post because I think. Oh yeah, because Facebook doesn't allow you to post to comments. I'm not posting any comments to you guys on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you can. I'll tell you what to do before the show is over. How to talk to me, but Facebook won't let you comment. YouTube does.
Yeah.
So people will call me. They have gophers like in Venice and Santa Monica, even in Malibu. Malibu is ridiculous because people are living on the country, and these people are killing every living animal around. They deserve to have gophers and other creatures. Is what I feel about that. I said, hey, no, I am not going to go out there and kill the gophers for you because you're an idiot. Anyway, that's sorry, Malibu. I didn't mean to say that. I did not say that, Malibu, or any other city. I'm drugged out right now. I took these drugs from the VA. They gave me drugs. I'll say anything. Okay, all right. What was I saying about gophers and making it smell?
Yes.
Oh yeah, herbs. There are lots of varieties of herbs that you can grow, and I would give you. It depends on where you live at. You're going to have to find what will grow in your area. So I can tell you what grows here, for example. So one of the things I've learned to grow is called society garlic. Can you grow society garlic up there?
I don't know. I don't.
You would know if you could, but don't you have herbs and stuff?
Oh yeah, we have.
What time of year do you grow your garlic? Year round?
Well, we planted in the fall for the spring, for it to come up in the spring, just like pretty much everywhere else in the world.
Well, society garlic grows year round, unless I guess it grows in a place where it doesn't freeze with snow. That's what I would think. So over here it grows year round. It's called society garlic for a reason, because you crush it or run over a lawnmower, you are going to smell the garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Garlic happens to be one of those things that not too many creatures like. They don't like to eat it, and they don't want to smell it. Mm-hmm. So you plant them as a barrier. So this is one of the permanent things I do in Malibu for gopher control. I irritate the heck out of them from inside the property. So remember I was talking about spraying something that smells.
Here I thought you were singing to them, Andy.
Yeah, could you put Silly Lily's thing up there for me?
Okay, hold on a second.
I don't have a second tool for this stuff. Yeah. The terrible eyesight, but a well-developed sense of smell. That's why they hate strong scents like sage, rosemary, eucalyptus, lavender, and more. Who is this Silly Lily? She should be a co-host up here. She's really good. Really, really good. And that's right. They're very bad eyesight. They're like, who are you? But they can smell you a mile away. And if you can smell any of these things, cinnamon oil, mint oil, garlic oil, exactly right. And so what you want to do is there's so many different varieties that you can buy of these essential oils, for example. You can make your own oil from herbs. I have a bunch of herbs that are growing from citronella to you can talk sage, rosemary. So I have a customer that has lots of rosemaries and citronella plant, which I planted the citronella, and you just cut a little bit of it, boil some water, put them in there, let it sit for a while. Damn, bing, bada boom, you got it, and you spray that. And lots of other things you could do with it. You can just soak. You can soak like cedar. Yeah, cedars. In other words, you get cedar chips. But I would soak them in this thing, place them around so they last longer. But so you can get, and there's a company called Young, Young, and what they make is essential oils.
Okay.
And they may be called Young Life or Young something. I think it's Young.
Okay.
And they make all kinds of really cool essential oils, but they make one thing called Thief, Theif, Thief oil. I don't know why they call it Thief
Thieves.
oil,
Yeah. Thieves. Yeah.
Thieves
Yeah.
oil. And
Yeah.
it's a really cool essential oil product that you can use. Now, I was talking to Michelle on my show Monday about ants. We had an ants show, and I was talking about what you can spray around the property, how you communicate with ants. One of them spraying around the property. You're going to have to watch the show, but I'm not telling you. But you have to. So what I did is spray the property with Dr. Bronner's soap. Dr. Bronner's soap is a young living essential oils. There you go, exactly right. Young living essential oils. Very, very good company. I am not a distributor or anything like that, but yeah, they have. So the essential oils are wonderful selection you can choose from, but uh, but the problem is, and here's the thing. Do you remember? You know who our friends that says, "Don't be a moron," right?
Mr. Leighton Morrison. Yeah. Don't be
Exactly
a
right.
moron. Yeah.
So when I first started doing this, I would tell people, okay, essential oils, wonderful. You know, you have eucalyptus. Yes, you have all these sources, and they are good, but they're so powerful. I'll give you an example: lavender. So doctors have discovered that lavender, essential oil of lavender, if a child gets exposed to that often enough, it changes their hormones. Literally changes their hormones. It affects their liver, their kidney, and that's because they're small. Small pets get the same thing. Cats will have the same problem, and then we will be affected too. And there are a bunch of all the essential oils uh, are really should be done 1 drop in a gallon of water. Hey,
Yeah.
1 drop in a gallon, and it should be warm water, because if you put a drop in a gallon of warm water, you will definitely smell that. That's just that one little drop. And if you can smell it, the creatures can smell it 10,000 times more. They could smell it a mile away. No way. And what it does is, as soon as it gets into their system, they definitely feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely affects them. It affects their nervous system. So I stopped telling people about essential oils because I don't want them to be a moron and dump.
Yeah.
The lady says I dumped half a bottle in a gallon and it was really strong. I go, yeah, it was really
Yeah.
strong. And it says, who told you to dump half? Well, I figured if a little bit was good, but some oils you can't use it now. Exactly right. There are lots of oils that way. They're very, very bad for horses, cats. I was using. I'm not going to give the name of the company, but it basically is an essential oil of citronella. No, of citrus. It's a citrus oil. It's a citrus oil concentrate. So they use it for a dissolving oil, or they use it for in the kitchen cleaning, clean your car with your brakes. So stuff like that, because it really dissolves, but it's a concentrate. L-lanolene. It happens that L-lanolene is very bad for kitty cat's liver. Dana, yes, right. Let's get
Diane.
Dana on as a guest.
Okay.
Hi,
I'll
Dana.
reach out to her.
You've just been invited to come on as a guest, Dana. So somebody's going to get a hold of you.
Diane. It's actually Diane.
Diane, somebody's going to have to get a hold of you, okay? Because for some reason, Lily says she should be on as a guest, so I believe her. But
Diane actually is a shaman. She does energy healing.
She's too shy.
She works with horses using energy healing, essential oils, etc. And she says, I'm too shy.
What we can do is really simple. We don't have to show her face, just her voice. And then maybe we'll show her face up when she's not looking. I say, okay, look the other way, we show her face.
And she sings. She's a hell of a good singer, too.
I have the same problem with my co-host. He says, I don't like to be seen. I said, okay, well, we'll do the kind of YouTube stuff that doesn't show your face. Because I bet you Dana has a wonderful voice. And I bet you she's just a little shy. She's saying that because she knows she's not shy. But we should have her on. I mean, but it comes down to, I was going to say about the citrus. L-lanolene really killed my cat because I bought the oil. I used a little bit in the house. The cat got sick, died. And it was some kind of neurological illness that the L-lanolin affected my cat. I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it affected her liver or kidney. They're small little creatures. They're not really giant big things, so they're right there with it. And then they top of it, they walk on it, they lick it. So they get it in lots of different ways. And horses, animals, almost all the creatures, you have to be real, and humans too. It does affect babies and us humans, big giant males and females, big things. We can go through all kinds of stuff. The liver falls off, everything falls off. I'm fine, I'm okay. One leg, I'm okay. You know what I mean? And we're used to going to the doctor and giving you more drugs. You're probably on so many drugs that wasn't is going to affect you. But people like me who do not take drugs, because I got dizzy a couple of times, using just a little bit. So I said, no, I think there has to be a better way. So I would use these essential oils for the purpose that they were intended for, was for healing.
Yeah, and I want to point out what Chad's saying here.
Exactly right.
Goes to show, do your research. Organic items can still be toxic.
Oh yeah,
damn right they can.
I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way because there's so many things that are in the organic world. I'll give you another example. Okay, so when I first started doing this, I studied the old farmers, and the farmers in the old country, what they would do to make their own pest control, they would make their own soap, for example. But they would take tobacco and not only make their own, grow their own tobacco, but they would get it for smoking, for chewing, but they would make it for pest control. But the tobacco and nicotine is toxic.
Yeah.
It's toxic. So they used to sell this nicotine bottle. It's called nicotine. It's a little tiny bottle like that. You take a drop in water and it'll kill any bug it's sprayed on, any bug at all, and I would say any type of insect would be grasshopper. They're all just, but they put it off the market because you absorb it through your skin.
Yeah.
And if you're already smoking cigarettes, you already have a lot of nicotine. Big deal. So you get it through your skin, you're just going to get more nicotine. Yes, silly. For over 30 years. Well, why don't you two, Lily, come on? You and Dana come on as a guest sometime. Because I think you're a very smart lady, too. And you should at least,
I know she is. Yeah,
she should. We can do it like all of us, and a picture of all of us have a group. I think that would be really cool. But when I started using it, see, I don't want to be around people who smoke cigarettes. I don't want, cigarettes is so bad. There's five. I think they call it 5-hand smoke. You know what that is? 5-hand smoke.
It's in 5 different hands.
No. So first-hand smoke is that when you're actually smoking it yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Second-hand smoke is when you're standing next to the guy who's smoking.
Right.
Third-hand smoke is when you're a little bit away, so you're maybe a half a block or maybe a few feet away, not directly. Fourth-hand smoke would be you're a couple of blocks away. Fifth-hand smoke is where everybody's gone. You come back the next day, you sit down. That's fifth-hand smoke because the nicotine is everywhere.
I don't know. That's kind of sounds like smog in California. So you wouldn't know which smoke is the smoke.
That's the real reason why they a lot of places ban smoking in public places. They say, well, nobody here, but you leave, and then somebody comes and sit down. Wham! They're gonna get it. As soon as they touch anything, they're gonna get it. Yo to the Yodi, amen. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. That's 5-hand smoke. They have this thing that I would buy because my next door neighbor, she died now. Guess what she died from? She used to smoke cigars. The lady who sits next to the porch next to me, this big cloud will come over, and I'll go, holy cow. I would take my wife, who was a little bit older, drag her out the front door and sit out there until the smoke cleared by. And I said, could you please not smoke? Honey, I can smoke my cigar and my porch if I want to. And she died. And so I would, and when I talk to customers, I don't come up near me. As a matter of fact, you can't be my customer if you want to be smoking, because that's also, so if you smoke, and you're done smoking and you come and talk to me, I'm still going to get nicotine, which is like third-hand smoke.
Yeah.
Right? Still going to get the nicotine. So they have this little strip that you can buy. You pee on it. If you have nicotine in your blood, it shows it to you. And there's a system you can use to eliminate nicotine from your body. Because if you don't get rid of nicotine in your body, you're going to have all kinds of major problems from your brain to the endocrine system to all your energy centers are going to get covered with this stuff, and nothing can. The other thing that can take it off of your body is called chlorella. It's a green algae.
Corella, yeah, yeah.
It's called sun chlorella.
Yep.
Now you can buy other products on the market. I recommend this one because it's broken cell technology. That means that you can eat all the seaweed you want to, all the chlorella you want to, but you're going to get a tiny small amount of it in your body because you cannot break it down. So this guy, Dr. Bernard Jensen, broke it down. He makes it here in Torrance. He says, broken cell, your body absorbs it. Whoosh. And the hemoglobin is, the green chlorophyll, it's called, same like the blood. It circulates through the blood and it washes over the nicotine, takes it away. The nicotine covers the points where your energy flows. They're like little balls. You don't have one wire. You have basically a jump. They have to jump. And if it gets coated with the nicotine, no jumpy, nothing. And there are other things too that are toxic because people say, "Oh, it's organic gardening; it's going to be really safe." Lots and lots of things are just as toxic. Is not as bad as the chemical ones. So doesn't mean that
the chemical ones come from is from the organic ones. They just make it so that they have the patent, so they can sell it to us.
Right. So that's how. But going back to. So one of the things that I've learned is to do things that are safe for me, safe for the user, right?
Yeah.
Safe for the user and safe for the bug or the pest or the whatever creature. In other words, we don't want to kill them. We want to use our nose to tell them, excuse me, no, and in a safe, clean way. So it comes down to throughout the years, I've learned that there's two things that stick out for me, and I kind of want to always go back to this gopher control thing because the gophers is their nose, is their sense of smell, and I use the same principle for deer control. This is how I keep deers from coming into my garden or eating my roses up, right? Same thing, mountain lions, any of those creatures that got a smell. A bird, they'll smell the stuff and go, "What the heck are we talking about here? This is not good." If they don't know what it is, they'll leave it alone. Excuse me. I used to keep, when I lived in Florida, I would go to the zoo and I would get lion pee and lion poop.
Okay.
So I would put it out around my garden. A rabbit would come along, lovely day. It would stand there going, and then leave.
I'm going that way.
and leave. When I lived up Deer Creek over here, we used to have deers, all kinds of things coming around. And then I've learned how to mark my property with various different things that they don't like. So there's a couple of zoos you can go to. They'll give you, and a couple other places they give you. So one of the things that they do not know is elephant.
Okay.
Elephant, because whenever the circus comes in town, I would get the circus poop, put that around my property. And they have no idea what an elephant is. And if they don't know what it is, say, I'm out of here. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And following the same philosophy. So what I don't know if I've ever talked about cold brew coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, coffee is one of those things where the caffeine smells good for us, but a lot of creatures and other beings go no.
Yeah.
Right? They just cannot. What's the dust is too much for animals. Perfect protection plant. What is it? What are we talking about? The dust.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on that super. So is that just a misspelling on the plant name, or because that doesn't really make sense.
The dust is too much for animals. Perfect protection plant. Yeah. I think, bro, maybe you may want to not take another hit. maybe it might be a good
Put the
idea.
bong down.
Put the bong down. So the gophers. Uh, so I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna skip to the end because there is a really cool, easy way to do a long-term protection that I've learned here. That means you're gonna have to learn something similar there. But in the
Tobacco dust is
yeah,
what he was talking
well,
about.
tobacco does. Yeah, you have to be real careful with tobacco because it's really well. See, here's the thing. So you can buy tobacco from the Native American Indians,
Mm-hmm.
totally clean, will not give you cancer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't get cancer from the tobacco. You don't get cancer from the nicotine. You get cancer from the 76 different chemicals they put in the tobacco and the 70 something different chemicals they put in the filter, and not to mention the 80
Yeah.
or something chemicals they put in the paper. That is what you get cancer from. The tobacco. So I think it's called natural tobacco or native Indian. They sell it by the leaf. You can buy it by the leaf, or of course already chopped up for you. And that's one of the best ways because you can use that on bugs and insects like stuff like that to control the bugs, you know. But I stopped doing that in the long. I would at a customer's place because it takes a while to establish the environment. To establish it. So in the interim, you don't want to lose everything. So, but
Yeah.
then again, you don't want to use nicotine in a vegetable garden because you don't want to get it over your vegetables and eat it. So you
Yeah.
maybe want to use, and it doesn't really work on gophers because they love chewy tobacco, which I did once. I threw a thing of chewy tobacco in there. The gopher came out. And, well, this is really good. Uh, yeah, yeah, I
Can I
like
get the
this. It was
flavored
nice.
stuff next time?
And it's like, oh damn, I guess that's not going to stop him, you know. Uh, but so the garlic is an amazing tool to use once you learn how to spray it because you can literally inject it into the gopher tunnels and stink up the tunnels. It takes a long time to get rid of the garlic smell. And then the cold brew coffee works wonders too. But also what works really, really well, and it's really funny if you ever start using it, are the coffee beans themselves. The
Okay,
coffee
are,
beans,
just the straight bean
the
or
beans.
crushed ground?
No, coffee beans. So you go to the store, you
Okay.
buy like 10 pounds of coffee, vanilla coffee, preferably organic, but it doesn't really matter.
Does it
Uh,
have to be vanilla?
vanilla is the one that I found. Vanilla is a toxic to most insects, gophers, lower animals, vanilla.
Okay.
But it's also the caffeine, because the caffeine does not kill them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they can smell the caffeine. Hey, you know, they may even chew on it, get some energy out of it. Caffeine is actually very good for earthworms. Earthworms love it, get some energy. You know, so it doesn't really. It depends on the creature. Snails,
Right. Yeah.
snails do not like caffeine. It kills them. If you start putting coffee grinds in the soil, it'll kill the eggs. It'll kill the snails. It gives them a little minor heart attack. Those creatures are so used to going, well, I'm going to have to go now. See you later. And it's like, you ever seen a snail? It's like, I'm leaving. And it's like, I'm going now. You know, it's really, really slow. And if you give them something that beats up their little heartbeat, oh my God. And most creatures, that's how it affects rabbits, birds, when their little heartbeat starts going, what the heck am I, what's going on, you know, right? Especially insects. They don't like that thing happening to them.
Okay.
So, but the beans, so I use vanilla, but I'm pretty sure that they have all kinds of other flavors that they add to them, different types of coffee. What you want is something that has a really strong smell, and then different brands have different smells. So you want to give it a try. But the beans, what you do is not only do you put the beans into the tunnel, you sprinkle beans all over the area. So when they pop their little head out, that's the first thing they'll smell. And the beans will last 30 days to 60 days easy smelling. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some advantage. Ooh, Mom is back home now and living with the mineral dense nutrition of the garden tours and corn grown organically with no information, with two information from Zola Biology. Thanks for everything. Oh, cool. I mean, so I think we're helping this person out.
Yeah. And mom. And my mom just got back from the hospital, so that's perfect.
Oh,
Fantastic.
great. So, so one of the advantages of sprinkling, of using coffee grinds, coffee beans. The coffee beans is kind of cool because when the dudes get watered, yeah, you end up putting coffee in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the coffee happens to be very good for to acidify the soil. So here in Malibu and Southern California, all of California, the soil is very alkaline. So you want to do constantly be helping to bring the soil acidity down. So not only you can controlling the gophers, but you're also increasing the acidity of the soil, which eventually will help the biology. And the real problem is whenever you have gophers there, you have very little biology going on in the soil because the biology will control the gopher population. Now, a couple other things you can do too that they're long-term lasting, which I think is really cool, is you learn how to. There's certain things, plants that you can plant that will actually. Well, okay, I'll tell you, it kills them. It kills them. Okay, so my philosophy is, I'm going to plant this. If you want to eat this and die, it's up to you.
Okay.
Okay, and for some reason they go for it. We want to eat it. Fine, you're dead. No, I had nothing to do with it. It's called paper white lilies.
Paper white lilies. Now, does it affect
No,
all animals that
it's
way,
called
or
it's
just
called
gophers?
paper white narcissus. Paper white
Paper white
narcissus.
narcissus.
They belong to the lily family. Paper white narcissus. And
Okay.
so when I first started recommending it to people, I would tell them, don't. If you have a crazy dog that wants to eat narcissus, don't. If you have kids that are crazy that want to chew on it, no, because it'll cost them your throat and your breathing too. You can't. It doesn't work. Paralysis. So
Okay.
paralysis.
Paralysis.
There you go. Of the throat and the breathing, so it's no good. But
Mhm.
other than that, uh, it does kill the gophers. And you plant them like this one lady, a customer, for example, you order 15,000 paper white narcissus having a bulb sale. You buy them when they have a bulb sale, so it costs you $1,000. Wow. And you plant them right next to each other around your property.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then the idea is that once they start getting roots and get deeper, they have to either the gopher is they don't go under, they don't go over, they try to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they eat it, they die. And that's how it teaches other gophers don't eat this stuff because George ate it and he's dead,
Yeah.
right? So every year the roots get bigger and bigger and bigger. You have to plant them real close together because if you plant them like that, they will go through that opening. I have another friend who decided, well, I'm going to go be cool. I'm going to plant and space them out like that. And sure enough, you see a gopher line because you can see where the gopher, the little mount, and it goes right straight through the opening that he left for the gophers to go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So,
Lily wanted to point out there are all kinds of gorgeous flowers, plants that are deadly. I try staying away from planting them in my garden because we have the cats, we have dogs
exactly
and
right.
birds.
But
And
almost all creatures, except for human beings, will not eat it because it's super bitter. You bite in it and it'll be like, so the cats are not going to eat it. The dogs are not going to eat it. Mainly there's some stupid idiot kid. Now, I like that bitter. I like the bitter. Right? So that, and also too, they produce a white milky substance that you can get in your eyes, which would be a no-no. But and I've had them in my garden, but I always tell people, I never really had any idiots that decide they want to chew on it. My dogs never would. There's no reason why they wouldn't think of it, but if they decided they want to chew on it, it'd be so bitter they would not get very much done.
dogs eating your socks and your socks are probably pretty noxious there, Chad.
Yeah, exactly right. That's another thing. They're just saying they love you.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is Daddy's socks. Oh boy. I don't know if they actually eat it, chew it, and eat it, but maybe they definitely chew it and they have a good time. My cat loves all my clothing. She's always on top of stuff, moving around.
I get a hole in my sock. I just tie it up in a knot and throw it down. The dogs play with them for hours.
Speaking of socks, that's one of the things you could do. What I did was to hang. So I would get a customer has some really bad deer problems. So I brought some dirty socks that I didn't wash. I hung them up around. No more deer problem.
Yeah.
You see,
How
and so
long did that generally last? Like, a few rainstorms or what?
it'll last for quite a while. It depends on the environment. Depends on if it's raining, how much sprinklers is on them all the time, or if the lady takes them out and washes them and hangs them up again. No, you're not supposed to wash them. But there are lots of products on the market that follow that principle. There's one particular one, I forget the name of it, but basically what it is cayenne pepper in a little tiny tube with a clip on. So you clip it on, and it produces a smell, and it also releases a little bit of cayenne pepper. A deer will go up to it. Oh boy, I think I gotta go now. That's what happens. They'll take a sniff and a little cayenne pepper in their nose, and you see the deer go.
I'm out of here.
He starts talking German. It's like, but so those are the two things. So that planting the paper white narcissus works in a really great. I've had customers who've had it for quite a few years now, and not a single gopher on their property, and they're surrounded by gopher heaven out there in Neverland, but the gophers can't go through this tunnel. And it's the same thing with society garlic. They smell like garlic. I used to tell people that a gopher come and chew on the bulb. It won't kill him but when he goes, honey, I'm home, smelling like garlic, she'll kick him out.
The wife will kill him. Yeah,
the wife will kill him, right? The wife will get rid of him. But it does deter him. So the point is, you want to be able to do something. And so there's another product that I've been growing here in Southern California. It's called Curripia, Kuripa. And it's actually a native grass for California. And as to planting in other states, I don't know how they would, if you can transfer it from one state to another. You can't buy seeds from. Sorry, I'll
try. Hurt yourself.
I'll try to behave. But the point it would be to find something native that grows in your state, and experiment with them, because usually gophers will not like digging through them. Mm-hmm. You'll find, and any of the paper white narcissus will grow in lots of different states. So you can buy paper white narcissus and have them shipped to your place. I will go to a nursery and see what variety of paper white narcissus or what variety of narcissus grow in my state. And you'll find, but the rule is all of them are toxic.
Now, are these an annual or a perennial, Andy?
They over here they come up and they stay up for about maybe 6 months, 7 months, and they're perennials where they keep coming up again. They won't die off, and that's why the older they are, the better. Every year you get more and more because they expand, right? That's what bulbs do basically. There's just stay, even onions will tend to have more and more onions if you leave them alone, right? So you have to find the type of bulb that you can grow in your place. Now tulips. So what I would do is just get whatever bulbs grow there and plant them as a barrier around your property. Put a drip line down, plant them right along the drip line. So what I would do is make a little trench, maybe that deep, that wide, right? Make it so the root systems are really can grow in there. That's what you want, big giant root systems, right? That they have to go through. Put it with a drip on it to make sure they get water. But after a while, once they get water, you can reduce the water a lot with these bulbs. May not even have to water. This depends on what's going on. And once you have established a barrier all the way around your property, you're not going to have gophers. Your neighbors will have gophers, people across the street, but you won't. Mm-hmm. And that's a long-term solution that also helps because ideally you want to go back to why do I have a gopher problem in the first place? Well, the animals that normally eat them are not there, so make sure you get an owl box, a couple of cats. But those combinations of things right there, and you learn how to use the smell because you can also drive them away. Because that's what I would do. A friend of mine bit the bulb, neglected to tell the gophers that was living on his property. They was pulling the bulbs on there. Now the gophers are in his property, and he has bulbs all the way around. And it's like, how do you get him out? Because he didn't. You have to drive them out first, and you do that with smell. So you can use any number of things that smell, as we talked about before. You can use the garlic, you use the coffee, you can use the cold brew coffee, you can use essential oil. That's what turns you on to. Lots of really things that you can use to spray to keep them away. I would just I like the coffee, and the coffee is so easy to work with. You can actually just pour coffee beans into the tunnels. and pat it down. You put a rock on top of it. You just put it there. They throw it out again. You see coffee beans all over the place. Yeah, no, they throw it out. So, but you can actually go there are lots of different ways you can actually inject the coffee into the soil, right into the tunnels. They have these little siphon things. You have a bucket, you put it up to your bib, you put the hose on that. It siphons anything out there, so you can make your own different kinds of tea. And one of the things you could easily do is make compost tea, and inject it into their tunnels. Right, you inject the compost tea into the tunnels because the idea is you have more microbes in the tunnels and mycelium and all that good stuff growing in the tunnels. And if any of it gets established, and you'll be better off than if you didn't have anything, because that's why the gophers can basically drill through anything, any soil that they want to, because there's nothing there really stopping them. So also too, so you want to have as many. Remember we talked about more roots in the ground.
More roots, yeah, that's one of the keys
right, so
to life.
So the carapia, the roots go down 10 feet, and it's toxic to gophers. So they cannot dig through that. They have to eat it. As soon as they eat it, they die. But it's only effective when the trees are mature. When you're a little baby carapia, doesn't do it. They actually go up and, I like these little plants. Oh, they go down because they play with you all the time. But the longer they're in the ground, the deeper the roots grow, and the more they can't make their way through. So you have to find something that grows in your area that really likes to grow. You can tell because it grows really well. You can even talk to the nurseries, and I would go with the bulbs as the barrier, and try to find a living ground, some kind of living ground cover to cover your property. Because usually, when you have gophers, you have just barren land sitting there. Nothing's really growing. So you want to have something, some kind of native grasses to grow to cover it. And you'll find that the more herbs you have, the less other creatures you're going to have. So you can have all different kinds of herbs. Oregano, there's a creeper. Oregano is really good. It's like a very good ground cover. Right. You also have all the basic herbs that you can think of. Just grow as many herbs as you can, and you'll find you're going to have hardly any gophers at all, because they will stay outside your property. And that to me is a win-win, because you're not hurting the animals, right? You're not hurting any secondary animals, whether it be birds or coyotes that will happen to eat these creatures, and you're giving them food back. You should stay out there to be eaten by these guys rather than come over here and try to eat our cat, right?
Yeah.
So that to me is a win-win, because that's what you want to do. You want to teach people how to do things that actually benefits everybody in the long run. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to do that. Oh, exactly right. And that's what I've been saying. Your dog. And so that's important to me. And it's a tough one, because people don't relate to gophers as a living being, as an intelligent living being. And so if you do that, you say, okay, buddy, it's not your fault that you're coming over here, because I made it real easy for you. I made it, and you're going to come over here and see what's going on. You're going to come over here to eat the food. It's my fault that you're having a hard time getting the food you need as it is. And so if you do that approach and you try not to kill anything, I saw a movie the other day, and the guy said, "We're not going to kill today." Oh, I know it was Captain Kirk.
Oh.
Captain Kirk just said, we're not going to kill today. See, so that's really very, very good in the long term too. You'll find that you're going to have, because the more gophers you kill doesn't necessarily mean you got to solve your problem. You're going to have more gophers.
Well, I know that the farmers in our area, they used to pay us to go out as kids with our 22s and kill gophers, to protect the cattle from breaking their legs in gopher holes.
Exactly right. When in reality, all they had to do was quit killing the coyotes, figure out a way to let the birds come and eat all the gophers that they want, because they don't hurt the cattle. The birds, whatever type of predators are normal for your area there, And then on top of that, you can learn how to use. Well, sound also works really good, but what happens is sound actually attracts them. You can buy these things that make a noise. It's supposed to get rid of your gophers, but in reality, they attract them. And when the gophers want to have babies, they have them where the sound is at, because it puts them to sleep. Everybody has a good time with a little gopher sound, right? And you know how they go, bzz, 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 bzz. Oh, go to sleep, Charlie. Enjoy your gopher sound. So
I know somebody that when I had the mole problem, I was searching for different methodologies to get rid of them. Somebody literally put a speaker underground and played Celine Dion and got rid of all their moles.
right. So the sound is very. So what I used to do is get a speaker, you just lay it on the ground, boom, boom. You get to throughout this thing. It works to a certain degree, but they will come back once they
Yeah.
realize, oh, it's gone. Is it over with? Okay, great. But you can do something like that too. They have crackers. Uh, but again, if you really want a long-term solution, you're gonna have to solve the problem because you can't do this forever because the gophers they don't get the message that you're not wanted. They don't want you on the property yet. You're sending the message. Yeah, you should come here and check this out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sending the wrong message. You should come and check this out, and they will come and check it out. So. So for what people have to do is learn how to plant things that would naturally repel them.
Yeah.
And the better they get at that, the better they'll solve their long-term problems with the gophers or any other creatures, because other creatures will have to go through them also. Rabbits will have to go through them. A lot of times I make my garden very difficult for rabbits to find because they have to pick what's edible.
Yeah.
This is not good. This is good. No, first thing if they eat something they don't like, that's it. They're gone. So I plant a lot of herbs and stuff in. Mother Nature doesn't have one thing growing; they all have a blend of things growing.
Yeah,
and
diversity.
And that's an ideal way to do it in the long run. That's the long term. Again, you can go back to the sense of smell, and usually, if it smells good for you, they'll smell it too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's key into different things that you can spray. So you learn how to use the natural soaps. I don't recommend essential oil unless you're really good at it, unless you understand that this is stuff is very strong stuff. You go very lightly with it. Learn if you're making compost, do the compost tea as a you can spray the compost tea. You can even make the compost tea a little bit more ripe.
Okay.
Right.
So more anaerobic then.
Yeah, and you also have the ability to use all different types of coffees, and of course the garlic one. The garlic is real easy too because you put crushed garlic into little I call it pantyhose, but a little ball, throw it down the gopher tunnels, and you'll see that they will try to get it out. If they can't, it stinks up their gopher tunnels, keeps them away. But it's not a long-term solution because they will keep coming back. They'll dig another tunnel, come in the other way. And so you want to have a barrier, literally a barrier around your property. A living barrier is the best kind. I've also have done a metal barrier where you dig a trench around the property and the wire goes down 6 foot of wire, basically triple layers of wires that go down to the ground, and then they come up. So and then you can have woodwork or something there because you don't want to have the wires just coming up. People will run into it. You have another part of the barrier, like a fence. You have your fence barrier, and that works as a barrier, as a physical barrier. If you want to go that route, if you don't want to have, I like a living barrier. So so instead of doing the fencing thing, you can actually or do both. Do the fencing thing and then plant something in that. You already did a trench, and the root systems will go down in there. Provided the roots are intertwined with the fence, you have this solid barrier that will stop them from getting over here. But there's something wrong when you don't allow animals to flow through your property.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the long-term solution is allow the flow to happen in your property, but make it so that your what you need protected will be protected, so the animals are not going to go straight for them.
Yeah.
In that sense, right?
And that goes for a lot of different things that you want to protect is putting up that barricade from the things that would come and try to destroy what you want.
Right. So like roses, whatever it is, when you first dig a hole, you can put a little wire cage or something down in there for them to protect them, so the gophers can be running around all they want on the outside. And I understand about people, horses and gophers that's very bad. You're definitely going to have to protect that area from getting invaded by gopher. But if it's such a big area, that you're going to have to bring the biology back, let the other creatures eat it so that there's no more gophers to make the gopher holes.
Yeah.
You can't have a sterile environment because something will take over. Something will come along and just wipe everything out.
Yeah. Well, Andy, we're at the hour, my friend, and I
I
think
don't
we're
believe
both
it.
done on gophers, you know.
Put my website up there, man. That's it. Flash it up there, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here it is. Here it
There it
is.
is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 So I have a really cool series on ant control that we're doing now. So you go up and check it out, and then I'm doing a gopher thing in a little bit myself. I do it slightly different than I do it here. I'll have a slideshow and that kind of stuff, so people can do something different, you know. Very interesting conversation on gopher control. Thank you, Andy and Ken, for this podcast. Thank you, Silly Lily. Okay, everybody. This was a fun one. Thanks. Have a good day. See you later, Ken. See you next week. What are we talking next week? You know what we're doing?
Oh, I'd have to look at the sheet, my friend.
I should actually.
I don't even know who's coming on with the sun and the moon tomorrow night. I know they're supposed to have somebody booked, but they haven't told me yet. So, but hey, I'm just the producer, right?
Yeah, man, you're just the producer. All right, take care, everybody. See you all later. See you next week. Bye now.
All right, night, guys.